Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to the QPR Career Mode. If you're not all nice and caught up, then go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome to today's episode. Just very quickly going over a couple of things from last episode. It was said in the comments, more people agreed that they would rather see 4 3-minute half games than 3 4-minute half games, just so we can get some more games per episode. Absolutely fine with me. I've changed it to be 3-minute half, so we should have 4 games per episode now, and the episode should still run at roughly the same time, which is fantastic. Just to go into last episode and some of the things that had happened, we eventually got out of our losing streak. You can see a loss against West Brom, a loss against Birmingham. We then lost against Norwich, Burnley, Bristol City and Plymouth. 6 losses on the bounce that was finally ended against Leeds, which, I mean, of all the teams we're playing against there, it's one of the teams that we'd be least likely to get the win against, but we managed to do it, and that is what matters. So today's episode will see us up against Southampton, up against Coventry, we will play against Hull, and then against Stoke, and we'll then only be a little period of time away from the transfer window. We are slowly working towards it, so we'll be in October. We'll basically, in today's episode, catch up with the date today and surpass it. So we'll start seeing sort of where we're at in the league in comparison to where we are in real life, going through these games. Just another small bit of admin for those who do or don't know. Still having building work done outside our flat, and our road is still being built. And my word, they're bloody loud. So I will do my best, boys, to drown it out in post, but there's not too much I can do about it, and I apologise. Sat in 12th place at the moment, so I can already tell you we're basically going to be ahead of where QPR are in real life at the moment. But first game up against Southampton will be a tricky one. Fingers crossed we can do okay. I'll see you there. Okay, going into game number 1, and you can see we have got ourselves our strongest 11. One thing I need to do is retrain Powell to have his primary position be left back again, and I will do that. I just forgot to do that, full transparency. But yeah, that's going to be our starting 11 here. Begovic staying in net. I'm going to make it as a small rule of thumb to myself. If Begovic has another howler, then it's time to try the other lad out. Bit of rotation between the two of them and see what goes on from there. Because obviously Begovic is our captain. It will end up being, I'll probably make Cook or Field the captain, depending on who I feel maybe has the most leadership going into the games without Begovic. But here we are going into our first game. Lyndon Dykes the man to talk about, because he scored 2 in the last game against Leeds, and again what was a crucial game potentially to turning our season around. But let's get into it, boys. QPR versus Southampton. Game number 1, come on you ours. Southampton started really nicely here, got the ball past Powell, which is not fantastic news for me at all. They're probably just going to slowly pass this in. They're making their way. They took their time. Thankfully, Clark sort of had time to step in. Southampton come forward again here. Really quick play, playing it between our defence, and it's going to be a corner nice and early on here for Southampton. They've been dominant. We've basically not touched the ball apart from where we've tackled them and tried to bring it away, and they've got the ball back immediately. So work to do here. Let's try and stop this one coming through. They're just sort of working it to the edge of the box. We've seen chances built from here against us before, and thankfully Begovic equal to it. Oh, they're bringing it forward here. A little bit of space between our midfield and the defence, but Sam Field gets back with a wonderful tackle. Sadly couldn't then keep the ball to bring it away, but a really good initial tackle to just stop him from bursting through. Ozzy's been caught out here with a bit of space against him. Good defence in the end there from Steve Cook, and we are going to bring it away. Chair going to try and come inside. Looks across to find Dazelle. Lyndon. Lovely bit of hold-up play here, and that's a terrible tackle there. That's got to be at least the... Oh, it's a red. It's a straight red. The Southampton captain takes a walk. Bednarek, a centre-back, off the pitch here. That is... I mean, I guess it is from behind. It's kind of two-footed. He's nowhere near the ball, but they're going to have to make a change. Mason Holgate making his way on for Ross Stewart. So a real defensive change here. That hopefully will ease things up a little bit when they're bringing that ball forward. But we've got to now make the most of this advantage. And, 11 against 10. I know anything can happen, but it really does make a big, big difference when you're having to defend. And they're a man down. And just like that, already chances starting to come our way now. Sinclair Armstrong with a really good effort, but a very good save from the man between the sticks for Southampton. Going to whip it in for Linden. Doesn't quite climb highest, but Dazelle now going to try and thump this one towards goal. Does, and a very good save. I think saying for Southampton, I think that's a Lumley. Fairly sure it'll be Lumley in net for them. So Lumley causing us the problems at the moment, keeping it at 0-0. But you can see we are in the ascendancy, and you've got to make the most of that chance and that time when you are. And Lyndon Dykes climbs highest and puts the R's 1-0 up. Very happy with that. Real good time to score as well, just before half-time. Lovely cross in from Ilias. We're not very good at corners in real life, but apparently we are in the career mode. Lovely bit of play there. Lyndon Dykes again climbs highest. He is definitely on a bit of a purple patch at the moment. 3 in 2 for the Flying Scotsman, and I'm very, very happy with that lead. Again, against a tough side, but as soon as they go down to 10, fingers crossed, this is a real turning point for us now in the season. We've had a real bad run of games with losses. Hopefully now we can pick up a lovely run of games with some victories. And playing against 10, hopefully, should make back-to-back victories a little bit easier. Fingers crossed. Willock's done really well, by the way, to keep that after losing out. Linden unlucky there, but 1-0 and a really good time to go 1-0 up as well. Oh, Sulemana here is so quick. Ozzy and Cook both being left in the dust here. He's just absolutely rapid. But Steve Cook comes across really well to help Ozzy out, because Ozzy was not catching him and Cook had that little bit of space ahead of him. He'd already started his run back, so well done to Cook there, stopping what could have been a really bad moment for us. But Lyndon Dykes, has to be said, the man at the moment, wins the foul that leads to the red card for Bednarek and scores the goal to put us 1-0 up at half-time. He's having a very, very good little patch for us here. Going to just very quickly make a change or two. You can see Field has absolutely run his arse off today. He has already been absolutely everywhere on the pitch. So Dixon Bonner's going to come on and have a bit of a shift here in the middle of the park. And I'm also going to bring on Paul Smith here as a wide cam, but I'm going to set it to say right wing just so he's in happy position, you know, just make sure that he's a happy chap. At some point it'll probably be that Dunn will maybe come on for either Clark-Salter or Cook, depending on who's more tired. Wouldn't be upset seeing Coley come on as well, but I want to give Lyndon a little bit more time. I know he's quite tired there. I want to give him a little bit more time because I think he's earned it. I think I was very much in my head, I wanted to be playing Sinclair Armstrong because I love Sinclair Armstrong. I think he's got a real future for the club and in football in general. And I think, you know, I kind of let that lead the fact that Lyndon Dykes, for a couple of FIFA career modes before this FC24 one, nearly made it 2 there for Lyndon. He has been crucial for us. Last in the FIFA 23, he was so important for us in that save, and that was so unlucky there. Very nearly beating Lumley to make it 2. But yeah, I think I needed to give Lyndon a bit more of a chance because the guy has been nothing but fantastic for us in this save. So 1-0, plenty to play still. 40 minutes easily, comfortably on the clock here. But hopefully we can come away with the win. A clean sheet from here would be massive. I think it would also do a Begovic a bunch of favours. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It's still only 1-0. It's a good effort. It's a lovely bit of play. What was I saying about a clean sheet? Yeah, never mind. It's a lovely finish there, it has to be said. The lad they got from, is it Kamara? Or have I made that up? Oh, it's Aribo. I was going to say, I know they got him from Rangers. Kamara went, I don't remember where he went, but he didn't go to Blooming Southampton, Tom. Poor, though, has to be said. 2-2 easy. Lovely finish from Aribo, but pretty poor from us in defence there. And the 10 men have got a goal back here. Paul Smith is going to try and regain that lead very quickly if he can. Oh, he tried to just walk around the defender, couldn't do so. But yeah, I've got work to do now, boys. Oh, lovely step in there from Steve Cook. That could have been pretty problematic for us here. But Lyndon Dykes is going to try and set away Sinclair Armstrong. Don't think he's quite got the space he needs to just burst straight through. But he's going to put it onto his left. Have a go. Good tackle from Holgate. And it's, I think, oh, it did just go off. I was going to say, I think it didn't quite go off. But just as we get a corner, a Lyndon Dykes special. I have just taken him off a Ryan Coley. Jimmy Dunn is going to come on for Steve Cook as well. So most of our changes made here. Jimmy Dunn is still a big boy, though. We could still whip it in for Jimmy. Ilias going to put it in there. Does aim for Jimmy, but he's got 2 around him. It's going to drop here to Dazelle, who's just half-heartedly had the shot there. Really could have put a bit more power behind that, Andre, mate. And it is going to work its way out of the box. Jimmy can't control it as it's behind him. Can we stop this counter here from Southampton? Going to have to try. Ozzy, I was going to commit a slide there. I was going to commit to the slide tackle, but I'm glad I didn't. Oh, Southampton are knocking this round quite nicely, but Ozzy steps up The touch, though, it bounces off his toe, and he doesn't manage to bring it under control. Dezell is going to end up winning that, though, in the middle of the park. Very nice indeed there, and he's going to try and set away. Oh, I wanted it all the way to Smith. I maybe should have put it in the air because he's tried to play it to Coley instead. Smith with space in front of him. I don't quite have the room to be able to just keep the run up. So Ozzy is going to have that ball received to him now, and now Smith is going to get it back. Not long on the clock here, but Paul Smith going to try and bring it into the box. Does so fantastically. Oh, the pass. I wanted it all the way across to Ilias. Do you guys see Ilias at the back post? That's where I've tried to pass it. Smith had other ideas, though, and that could have been 2-1 and a tap-in. And this will... Oh, not like this, boys. Please. Asmir, he's been chipped, boys. And just like that, in a game that should be done and dusted, instead is 2-1 to Southampton. We have lost to 10 men. And I don't even know what to say, boys. It feels very undeserved. Sulemana, I said from early on in the first half, Sulemana caused us problems with his pace, and he has done so there with that. He's just been able to turn and run. The amount of space he had is truly ridiculous for the position he was in there. But hold on a second. Coley can't get it to Armstrong. Can he get it to Smith? He can. Paul Smith, I need something from you here. Back to Coley. Coley with the strike. It's off the post. Oh, boys, we could have salvaged a point, which it still is ridiculous that it only would have been a point. But that is a 2-1 loss, and that is a bad loss as well. It's not a nice one to get. After being 1-0 up against 10 men, to concede twice in the second half and drop all 3 points is just not good enough. Not good enough at all. An incredibly disappointing loss to take there. One that really doesn't sit nicely. You know, it's not a nice one to get, but we have to bounce back. And I'm not entirely blaming Begovic, but I think it's time to give the other lad a shot. Okay, game number 2 of the episode up against Coventry, who QPR fans, we just had a not great experience against Coventry in real life. But here we are, hopefully a bit of revenge in the least important way imaginable in career mode on FC24, but you're welcome. A couple of changes, as I said, Labrovic coming in for his debut for the club, and Paul Smith is going to start over Chris Willock. Nothing against Willock. I think I've just missed having Smith in the team, and I think it would be nice to get him back in and playing every now and again. That pace really does give you an option against almost anyone. But as I said previously, Lyndon Dykes at the moment our most informed man with 3 goals in 3. Fingers crossed he can make it 4-4 at least. But we need to just sort out this form. Obviously, we got that win against Leeds to stop the losing streak, but I don't want to go on another one. Come on, you Oz. Kenneth Powell brings this ball away. Nearly loses it in a bad spot, as does Clark Salter. Mate, 3 attempted passes, all blocked there. But Wright's going to bring this ball forward. I'm going to have to just try and shield the options for him to pass it to. We don't shield any of them, and it shows that Begovic is not the only keeper with an issue. Labrovic, I think that's his name. Conceding again. Boys, it's proving very, very difficult to defend against anyone, I think, at this moment in time. But that's part of Ultimate, and I need to just bear that in mind. Defending in FC24 is not fun at the best of times. Defending against an Ultimate rated team makes it even worse. That's absolutely shocking from Labrovic, by the way. But Sheaf makes it 1-0, and boys, I don't know what to do. Chair with the ball now, trying to bring this forward. Can we maybe bring it forward to do something? Would be nice. Armstrong now. Going to try and bring it up as well. Lyndon turns around, tries to find the pass through to Dezell, but I find the centre-back instead. Ilias Chair on the ball now. Going to play it inside now to Sam Field. Field going to look up and find Dezell. Look at that run. Lyndon. Oh, can't quite get the ball again. Honestly, I think the addition, the looking at of sliders is going to be something I have to consider, because I think Ultimate, at the moment, using these silver players, I think Ultimate's too difficult. And this is me just being honest with you. I think it's too difficult. I think I'm going to have to play Legendary with some sliders. I might try it for the last game. For those who watch MGH, great content creator, he very recently just released or showed everyone the sliders he's using to make the game feel difficult without being impossible to play. and he plays on legendary with these sliders. Oh, ref, you can't call that there, my man. God's sake. It's infuriating. But yeah, I might look at those because I think that might be the way to actually have this feel more playable. Does that make sense? But anyway, it's 1-0 half time. It's not a good half. Limited chances at each end, if I'm honest with you. A lot of the ball just in the middle of the park. But Coventry have got the lead, so Coventry don't really need anything to happen. They just got to see this out, which we can't let happen. Come on, boys. They're just knocking this round for fun. They literally have just been pinging it between player to player to player, and it has been impossible to win it off of them. Thankfully, Kenneth Powell does eventually win it off them. Going to play it forward now to Armstrong. He's going to play it first time to Chair. Chair with a bit of space in front of him. Come on, Elias. Please, mate. I need this. We need this. Just runs inside the defender. Hits the post, boys. What more can I do? Smith brings it forward now. Paul Smith going to play it down out to Dazelle. Dazelle going to look up, find Lyndon Dykes. Dykes going to try and play it across. There was no room for a shot, but evidently also no room for a pass. But Chair plays it to Armstrong. Armstrong turns. Armstrong strikes. Can't get it within the sticks. Hits it wide. Going to make some changes here, boys, because it's just not quite working out for us. I'm going to bring on Chrissy Willock on the left here. Just going to change that to be left wing again, just so he's in the right position. Going to take off Clark Salter. And I think we're going to take off Dazelle. Bring on Dixon Bonner. And Armstrong off for Coley. I think that's going to have to be the play, boys. Plenty of changes. I know it's a lot in one go, but they're changes that need to happen. And look, they're bringing on Ellis Sims, who, by the way, far too good for this level. The lad is very, very good. He really, really is. That anyone who thought that they were potentially going to struggle post Gyökeres, boy, have they found their replacement in Ellis Sims. What a player. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one now, boys. Going to be a very, very tough one. Dixon Bonner forwards here to Dykes. Dykes plays it to Smith. Smith just about keeps control of it. Ryan Coley can't get through the defenders. It's chances like that I'm trying to play quickly. I'm playing that tiki-taka because that's what I'm asking the lads to do. And we're getting close to chances, but we're not actually getting anything. We're not testing the keeper very much, which is one of our big problems in this game so far. But Lyndon going to play it to Coley. Coley's going to have to turn back to Lyndon. Lyndon's going to try and shoot, but defence in the way. Dixon Bonner not going to put him under the pressure to shoot. Going to play it out here to Chrissy Willock, who's going to try and turn. Going to play it back into Coley. Can we just rotate this round, boys? I just need to try and get space to shoot, because at the moment, I'm not getting the space to shoot. The one time I did was with Chair, and he was so unlucky. It hit the blooming bar. Oh, Coventry, bring it forward. Bring it to the byline. Well done, Steve Cook. The clearance from field is not good enough. It's hit straight to the Coventry man on the edge. We're going to lose the ball there. We're done. Good save in the end from the keeper. He's not really had much to do. Sadly, he's had 2 chances to save, and one of them have found their way in. But ref ends it again as we're pushing forward for an attack. But never mind. A 1-0. And we're back to losing ways again, boys. 2 losses on the bounce. And I'm sorry, but the next game, I'm going to try Legendary with the sliders. I'm going to see if that becomes more playable again. It's starting to be that it feels impossible to play an Ultimate. And yes, that could very easily be a skill issue, 100%. But I'm finding the Ultimate, I think I'm just going to lose 90% of games. And yes, that could be realistic, but will it be enjoyable? I don't think so. Okay, so as I said, Legendary with sliders, basically what I have tweaked is both defensive. Anything I've changed for me, I've also changed the AI. I've put keeper ability up to 60. I've also put the defensive, like their marking and like the line and everything, I've put all of that up to 60 as well. And I've put pass error on 45 for both myself and the AI. So passes should be a little bit more accurate for myself and for the AI. It should be that goalkeepers are a little bit better, and it should be the defenders are a bit more on the strikers and just, I guess, defend a bit closer to the players, which should make it more difficult to attack but easier to defend. So anything I've changed for me, I've also changed the AI. So I'm not just trying to make this easier for me, boys. I'm trying to make the Legendary AI more difficult without it going to a point of Ultimate. So that's the main thing to cover there. We need to get back into winning ways. Our monthly scouting reports are back as well. Just going to have a very quick look through these. Ahmed, I'm afraid, my friend, you are not the one for us. Neither are you, Ali or Hassan. However, Fatih Ibrahim could be a little play, you know. I think we're going to sign Ibrahim there, give him a contract. Very nice indeed. And we'll look at our English scout as well, see if anyone jumps out. Riley May could be a potential keeper down the line. Let's give him a contract. Owen Humphreys, I'm afraid no. Harrison Potts, also no. Same with Gibbs. Jacob Cole. I'm going to keep these two scouted. I don't think Nathan Carpenter will be enough. Jacob Cole, that starting rating, the price suggests to me it's not loads, but if it could be mid-50s, he's the kind of player you could maybe loan out and come back, and who knows from there, but I'll keep those two being scouted for now. To give us some ideas of things here, Salim Said, 62 rated, and his potential is 61 to 71, so not looking fantastic, but I am going to offer him a contract now in the senior team, so promote him up, along as well with Dexter Park, mainly because for Dexter Park, he's 18 and I don't want him to leave yet, but I'm also just going to make sure his primary position is striker now that I'm not playing with centre forwards, but I'll probably get both of those loaned out, with Said probably eventually leaving, but Ibrahim here, 73 to 94. I'm just going to put some training plans on these guys, and we'll then just jump back to probably the game will be the next thing you'll see. So going into this with, again, what would be our strongest 11, Labrovic, I'm going to give him another game. Only had 2 things to do against Coventry and sadly did concede one, which wasn't a fantastic effort of a save. So we'll just, again, give him another chance, see how he does. And if things don't work out, then maybe we turn into a bit of an Arteta and rotate between 2 strikers. Time will tell. We will see what's going on. It still says he scored 3 and 3. Has he? We didn't score in the last game, and he did play. And we only scored 2 before. I don't know. Regardless, boys, we'll see how the legendary then feels with these sliders. Like I say, it shouldn't be that it's crazy, crazy easy again, like the first game of the series. It should just be that it's easier than Ultimate. And you know what? Immediately, I can tell you now, it does feel a little bit easier actually being able to play that ball forward. But it shouldn't be that I'm just going to win the ball back immediately as well. It should still be difficult with these slider settings. And my controller's dying. Better plug that in. Hull with the ball out wide here. Powell has been beat. And they're going to play it inside. Hold on a second. Don't let that shot away. Don't let them get it away here. Good block there in the end from Clark Salter. And actually, while I think about it, I will plug my controller in because I said, oh, make sure to do that. Didn't do it. But Scott Twine, by the way, on loan to Hull. What a loan signing that is. That's absolutely fantastic because I think he's got real potential. He was fantastic when he was in League One, and it's just so unfortunate he had that injury at Burnley. Otherwise, I do honestly think he probably would still be playing with Burnley rather than being on a loan back in the Championship. But I think a loan move makes sense for him to get some game time again. But we got that corner away. They're trying to work it in again. Dessel doesn't quite get the touch he needs. It's a good effort, boys. It's just wide of the post. Connolly nearly finding the back of the net. Kenneth Powell going to bring this ball forward. Finds Ilias Chair. Going to try a little 1-2 here with Armstrong. Actually, the second pass is going to go straight to Lyndon Dykes, who's on his weaker foot, but it's a fantastic finish. It's going to find the back of the net. And just at that, boys, we go 1-0 up. Lyndon Dykes, absolutely the man in form right now for us. Really nice strike. Finds the back of the net comfortably. And that's a lovely bit of play, boys. It's a lovely bit of play. As I said, this tweak with the sliders should mean that there are better chances for us. But you can see Hull haven't been limited as well. They've had a corner. They've had a good effort on target. They've had an effort just go wide of the post. But, boys, we've got to try and find this form again. And it's 1-0 to QPR. Come on, boys. Oh, Hull with a lovely ball forward. Connolly with space here. He's going to play it forward. Cook gets the first block. Traore's going to get it back, though. He's going to go back to Connolly. He's going to play the strike. And just like that, boys, it's 1-0. Pretty poor defence from me, I have to be honest with you. Connolly, though, took his time to shoot, and I had time to close him down. Time of which I didn't make the most of. But look, the pass in here from Traore straight to Connolly, and I just didn't close him down. And when I changed to Aussie, I changed far too late and made the approach to him far too slowly. But just like that, boys, it's 1-1, and it is all the work that we've just tried really hard to get undone immediately. Oh, and Connolly threw again, but Labrovic quick off the mark and picks that one up. But the throw out is terrible, absolutely terrible. Ozzy's been turned inside out there. Dazelle comes back to help him. Thank the Lord, because that was terrible from me. Hull bringing this ball forward again, and thankfully that pass just going behind it is going to go off the pitch for half time. And one thing worth bearing in mind here, boys, we are playing against, I think, either top of the table or very high up there. I think they're easily in the top 2 or 3 at the moment, but it is going to be 1-1 considering who we're against and how well they're playing. 1-1's not the end of the world. Disappointed to concede not too long after our goal, but there's work to be done here, boys. There is work to be done. That is for sure. We're going to bring in Paul Smith here. Again, I know it's making the same change over and over again, but it's a change that just makes sense considering what we're trying to do, which is get the ball out wide, get down the wing and play it into our 2 big strikers. So that's going to be the one change, along with Dixon Bonner coming in for Field. That is purely because of fitness. But come on, boys, it's not an easy game so far. It's been probably more chances for Hull than it has been for us. But again, it just feels like I've had half a chance at defending some of these chances, which is all I'm asking for. I'm not asking to go and win every single game. I'm just asking for a chance to actually defend attacks that they're making and be able to create my own. That's all I'm asking for. Chair bursting down this wing. He is still on the ball here from picking it up at the edge of our box, and I couldn't quite get the pass off to Linden. Linden with a good block there. Oh, Smith nearly comes in with the header. Instead, absolutely batters Matty Ingram, and it's going to end up not quite leading to the chance I was hoping. I'll bring it forward again now. Connolly going to play it through. It's a good save down to his right for Librovic. Really good effort there, but thankfully doesn't find the back of the net. Going to try and get this one out now. Good clearance there. Armstrong, can you get to it to bring it away? Not quite. They're going to try and bring it back through. They're going to win it. Going to play this strike. Labrovic, this is yours. Good lad. Well won there from Paul Smith. Getting back and doing the work that needs to be done to try and get us back into the lead if we can. But Armstrong now going to try and make a run. Lovely pass from Linden. Sinclair Armstrong up against Matty Ingram, and he's going to find the back of the net. I think that's the first time Armstrong has scored in a hot minute, but he's going to score, and that is exactly what we needed to see from the young man. Lovely bit of play. Linden with a beautiful pass through. It has to be said, it was perfectly weighted. The run from Armstrong was lovely as well. Across the keeper, Ingram couldn't get to it, and it's in the back of the net. Played against 2 ex-QPR goalkeepers today as well, in Lumley and Ingram. Interesting. 2-1, boys. I'll bring it forward again down our left-hand side here. Kenneth Powell having to stay strong and done really well. He had 3 players up against him at one point there and did well enough pretty much by himself to stop them getting anything in. But with a few minutes left, I've made a handful of changes here. Probably left it a little bit too late. They're bringing on Liam Delap. Interesting. But I'm taking off Linden. I'm taking off Chair. I'm taking off Powell. And I think that's it, because those are all my changes. I brought on Larkesh at left back, Ray and Coley at striker, and Richards has come on at cam. Just fresh legs for everyone. Also, Richards, I'm realising, obviously hasn't really featured too much, because I end up taking off Chair or Willock and bringing on Smith just because of how impactful Smith can be. So Richards has kind of fallen down the pecking order even further than before. So just thought it was only fair to try and give him a few minutes, but he's ended up getting about 6 instead of about 15 or so, which is what I was hoping he would get. But got to just make sure we don't do anything silly here. Ozzy stopped the cross. He couldn't stop the cross. Ball comes into Lap, is the man who climbs highest, and thankfully it wasn't finding its way into the back of the net. They're making a change with literally maybe a second on the clock. We're going to boot that one up, and ref, you know what to do, mate. You've done it against us a number of times, which is end the game. Curly was very nearly through there, by the way, but that is going to be a much needed win, boys. It means that, looking at it this way, 2 wins in 3 sounds a lot better than 2 wins in 9. So we'll take that, boys. I think I'm not overly happy with the run, but if we can get back into winning ways, and again, if this can be a chance to kind of stop the rot, stop getting losses coming out of nowhere again, then that would be preferable. So very happy with that. It's a good away win, but we need to start getting wins at home. I don't think we've had a win at home yet this season, apart from maybe the first game. I don't even remember. A much needed win for the team, and a very important goal as well. Get Sinclair Armstrong back in the goals, because we've been talking a lot about Linden and how well he's been doing, and Armstrong hasn't really been scoring to catch up with him at the moment, but good to see him get a goal there as well. We're in 13th, so we have dropped a place from where we were at the start of the episode, but we do have this game against Stoke, which is our 4th game of the video, which I don't know the last time we played 4 games in an episode, boys, but fingers crossed we can come away with something. If anything pops up, I'll catch you guys up. Otherwise, I'll see you at Stoke. Just a quick question to anyone out there as well. It says, I keep getting this email of let the training plan do its job, right? Let it do its thing. What is that I'm not doing to not let the training plan do its work? Because I'm not touching the training plan. I'm not doing anything. And it's telling me to let it do its work. Is there something I need to do or not do? Because I'm not doing anything. So if there's something I need to do, let me know. Because I get this email, as you can see, basically every 4 days. Boys, we have some pretty stinky news for this next game, and I'm not entirely sure why it's affecting the championship, because it shouldn't do, but we have got 3 players away on international duty in our starting 11, in Lyndon Dykes, Ilias Chair and Labrovic, plus Paul Smith is away, so we are missing a handful of players that would normally be starting for us, so changes are going to have to happen, and I'm going to have to look at the bench. Look at the bench. Well, we go into this game against Stoke. I was just saying how I wanted to win home games, and we're having to tweak the starting lineup quite a bit. Our highest rated striker being 65 rated Armstrong, which, by the way, he's now up to a 65. Very happy with that. But you can see Begovic coming back in goal. He's already dropped 2 ratings for the season. Richards on the left cam and Coley coming in as a striker. Also, just worth noting, on the bench, 2 of the young players that were in the youth system in Park and Sade are both now on the bench, so they're both making their way up the ranks pretty quickly, pulling them into this the first team squad much quicker than I would have expected. So they both might potentially make an appearance at some point. Also worth noting that Walsh is our sub-keeper today, because Archer got called up for Scotland as well. So we're missing 2 keepers, but it is what it is. Let's jump in against Stoke here, and again, we need to get the home form fix. We need to fix it. There's no 2 ways about it. Fingers crossed, though, that we can come away with this, again, with a result of some sort. I need to heavily rely on those players who are normally in the starting lineup. They've got a big job to do today. This starting 11, I need the starting 11 to be the team that get us the lead, and then substitutes being, you know, rotation, resting some legs. I don't want to have to rely on the bench, because we don't know that we can with this game today. So come on, boys, let's get ourselves a home win, and let's get the first back-to-back win in some period of time. Come on, you Oz. Stoke bring the ball forward here. Cook pulled forwards just a little bit to just try and, you know, stop the attack and push them back a little bit. Ozzy's been turned there. I am so bad at defending out wide. And Begovic, thankfully, pretty good at his close post there. Real good save, because I gave him a lot of work to do. I moved Cook out of the way. I moved Ozzy out of the way. I think it might have just been going wide, but I'm glad that Begovic got down to it to make the save, rather than finding out if it was on target or not. Well done there from Richards to get that initial block in, but they're going to try and play it in again here. Can I just push the man out? Ozzy tries to step up to make the offside happen. It doesn't. It's going to go into the back post. It's just got over there, man. That could have been truly terrible for us there. Armstrong wins a free kick, but also just stays on his feet. Good tackle in the end from Stoke. The advantage is gone. But, yeah, that is... Oh, that was so close to being 1-0 to Stoke. Ball all the way through and across here to Kenneth Powell. He's going to try and run down this wing, but he's not going to have the legs to get all the way through, so he's going to have to turn. Plays it back. Armstrong now. Coley, I need a run or something from you, my friend. The run's not going to happen, so Richards going to try and take it on. Sorry, Richards? Armstrong's going to take it on himself, and is going to bounce back to Richards, who, again, a lot to prove today, a lot to show what he can do. And there he showed that he could convert if he was playing rugby. Sadly, didn't find the back of the net. We're playing football. Field in the middle of the park here. Coley's going to try and make that run past his man. Does so. Going to try and see if we can get anyone in the box. Coley's going to play that cross, but win the corner, which is the main thing I was aiming for. Don't tell anyone. But Powell is going to try and whip this in. I think It's Cook standing on the 6-yard box. It is fantastic save there from the keeper. That really is a good save because that was finding its way well and truly in the back of the net. Look at this. Gets down nice and quick, gets a flat palm to it and keeps it at 0-0 for now. But we're going to try the same thing. Aim for Cook. Cook's going to get up, climb highest. I aim for the far post this time and didn't quite find it. Oh, it's a lovely bit of play here from Stoke. Are they going to keep this in? They do. Ozzy stops the ball going across. He's got to try and do it again. He does it again, wins it, and then doesn't quite win that little duel as the ball's being competed for on the edge there. But going to step in really well from Willock there. Willock getting back and doing a really good job. And Coley's going to play a beautiful pass to Armstrong, who now just has to run. Look at the green grass ahead of you. Finds the strike and finds the top corner. Lovely stuff from Sinclair Armstrong. A beautiful finish after a lovely bit of play from the boys. Very happy with that indeed. Well done, Sinclair, and finding a beautiful strike. But can we take a second to appreciate the pass from Rayan Coley to get this all happening anyway? Willock back doing the defensive work. Lovely stuff from that the right-hand side, I should say. But yeah, lovely finish from our left striker in Sinclair Armstrong, 1-0. And I have to say, I'm not going to say it's undeserved because we have had a chance or two, but I'm slightly surprised that we're the team that took the lead before half-time, and I said how important it would be for us to get the lead, so very glad that we did get it. But 1-0 at the break. And honestly, the main thing we've really got to pay attention to here is, from now, defence. Keep the defence tight. Don't let anyone in, and just make sure that we are resolute at the back. That is all I can be. And in doing that, I kind of want to make a change here. I want to bring in Jimmy Dunn. Don't really want to have to take off Cook, but I think I'm going to have to. So Cook is going to make way for Jimmy Dunn. I'm going to keep the rest of the changes because I think, as you guys can see with the ratings, everyone else is considerably lower rated than the player they would be coming on for. I guess apart from Drew, who is technically higher rated than Coley. But in regards to experience, obviously Coley been in the senior team about a month or so more, but Chrissy Willock here taking matters into his own hands and hits the post. That would have been a beautiful bit of play there from Chrissy Willock. That is the R1 dribbling in full effect. It really can be very, very effective for you if you learn how to do it. And Coley going to play the fake shot. Oh, I thought I just sold the defender and I didn't quite, but mate, we've come out the gates really pushing for that second. We smell blood right now and we are trying to double our lead. Let's see if we can. Come on, you Oz. Oh, Stoke, lovely bit of play here. Jake Clark-Salter doesn't quite get across to the man. Begovic showing that, you know, maybe he should be considered for a little bit more game time. Lovely, lovely save. Lyndon Gooch going to make his way onto the pitch. A player that QPR were linked with in the transfer window, but it evidently didn't happen because it's Stoke. Good effort. Actually, it wasn't a very good effort. Sorry, mate. Ozzy bringing the ball forward. Going to try and play it down the line, but loses it. And now has work to do to get back. Campbell is going to try and burst through here. Or well stepped in from Jimmy Dunn. Really good interception, stopping that cross from making its way to the penalty spot because that's where problems start to happen. I've got a bunch of changes lined up here. And at the moment, I don't know when they're going to make their way on the pitch, but I'd like it to be sooner rather than later. Begovic, really good save again. Begovic today has stepped back up to the plate, the keeper that we know he can be, but you'll see a series of changes here. Armstrong, Willock, Field and Kakai making way for Dexter Park, Salim Said, Elijah Dixon-Bonner and for Larkesh. So a series of changes and hopefully they're not ones that impact us negatively. Well done there. Clark-Salter is actually bringing this ball away right now. Coley, mate, make a run. Oh, I've left it too late to play the pass. Offside trap was in full effect and Coley is offside. Bringing this ball forward, a lovely chipped pass, but well done again, Jimmy Dunn. Honestly, I'm telling you guys now, it feels so bad that I don't play Jimmy Dunn. That's a terrible pass, by the way, from Dixon Bonner. It feels so bad that I don't play Jimmy Dunn more because he's so good. And Begovic, again, I think he's seen the fact that I genuinely will drop him if he's playing badly. Tyrese Campbell, ex-QPR Career Mode legend, by the way, making way for Dwight Gale, another player we've been linked with in the past. But yeah, Begovic is making the most of the fact that I clearly will rotate if he's not doing well. He's making the most of our new signing being away on internationals because he is stepping up to the plate here. We've got to just for the last 10 minutes, boys, give nothing silly away here. Nothing silly. Just don't let them score. At this point, a clean sheet and it's 3 points, lads. Come on. Let's get this home form rocking. Richards running through. He has got Dexter behind him. Dexter Park. Can he bring this ball through himself as well? The young man going to play it out here to Salim Said. The two youngsters making their way through the academy together. Sadly, couldn't quite combine as Coley is tackled, or Coley, I should say, is tackled. But now Stoke bring it forward. This is probably the last chance of the game, so we'll stick with it. Jimmy Dunn steps into it really well there. Can we just stop this ball coming through? Well done. Andre Dezel gets it through to Clark Salter. Richards now just has to run and take this to the other end of the pitch, and it should be curtains here. Park is going to slow it down, plays it into Coley. Coley doesn't quite keep the ball. You can hear the whistles around the ground, and now you should hear some cheers. Our first back-to-back victory in some period of time. But it felt like it could have happened. It felt like it was coming. But hopefully you guys realise, look at the difference between how I'm playing against Legendary now with the sliders and the first game of the episode. I haven't just changed it to be like, oh, it's easier. I've changed it because this feels better to play. They're making chances still. They caused us issues. They scored against us in Hull. Hopefully you guys agree that I think this is the way going forward. Again, thank you MGH for these sliders because they are a godsend. Ultimate is just ridiculous. They play passes and all sorts that just are ridiculous to play against, and you can't defend against it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But boys, a win at home, Loftus Road. Finally, here's that hi-ho silver lining. Thank the Lord. Very happy with that win, and it's worth noting not only did Begovic, as you can see here, keep a clean sheet, he actually got man of the match, which I think was justified. I think he was well and truly justified in getting that man of the match award. He was very, very good indeed. And I've been talking about how many goals Lyndon Dykes has scored. Sinclair Armstrong, as you can see here, actually has our most goal involvements with 6 goals and 4 assists. So just very quickly having a look at these, just to look at the stats. Lyndon, I believe, has 8 goals with 2 assists. Okay, interesting. He has actually got 7 goals with 5, but I guess that's in the league, I guess, because Lyndon's got 6 goals and 1 assist in the league. So that's probably what it is. But I have to say, very, very happy with the turnaround of results in the end. And you can see we end the episode in 11th place. We were 1 place lower than we started when we started that last game. But now we're 1 place above it. So small victories to take here. Still no draws on the cards, but 6 wins and 7 losses. I'd like a few less losses if possible, but hopefully we're heading in the right direction. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. And if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on the video. Supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn on notifications to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on our live streams, it's Hursty Games over on Twitch. There's a link down below, along with a link to my TikTok and my Twitter. So feel free to check those out too. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves. And of course, wash your hands. Take care.